Hi y'all, welcome to my channel, and in today's video I am going to share what supplements we have for Classical Conversations Cycle 2. So stay tuned. Okay, well, if you are new, welcome to my channel, Pursuing Peace. My name is Dina and I am a homeschooling mama of 5 kiddos 11 and under. And on this channel, I share my passions for Christ, for homeschooling, and for encouraging mamas in their faith and in this amazing season of motherhood. So if you'd like to join me on this journey, click the subscribe button down below and don't forget to click the little bell icon so you get notified whenever new videos pop up. You can also follow us over on Instagram at Dina_Pursuing Peace. All right, you guys, well, I have been prepping for this video for a little bit. For those of you who have been with us for a while, my channel is, I think, 6 years old now. I just got a notification on YouTube that said, happy birthday, 6 years old. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe that I've been doing this for 6 years. But I love it. I love sharing this journey with you guys and helping you along the way. I hope that some of these videos are helpful. I have gotten some really good feedback from you guys, and I'm just so encouraged every time one of you says, you know, that I helped you in some way, because that's why I started this channel 6 years ago, was to help you guys out, because so many YouTube mamas had helped me out when I was first starting. And what's also been amazing, and it's just kind of a bonus for me, is that I've been able to kind of document our journey, which is pretty neat. It's neat to just go back 6 years ago and see how little my kids were. They're so little. Like, I only had 4 when we first started. Now I have 5. But it's pretty amazing to see what God has done in our lives and in our hearts throughout the years. So it's been really, really wonderful. So thank you guys so much for joining us on this journey. But like I was saying, for those of you who have been with us for a while, you know that we have done CC for forever. So since maybe before I even had this channel, so 2018 or something like that. And so all of my kids have gone through CC. My 5th one kind of knows about CC, but hasn't really been a part of a community because we haven't had a community in our town for the last 2.5 years because we're military. We've moved around. I feel like I always have to say this because I don't know who is new and who is not. So I'm sorry if you've heard this a bazillion times, but we are military. So where we're stationed in Arizona currently, we don't have a CC community. The closest community is an hour and a half away, which we did try when we first got here, and it's a good community, but it was just so far away. Like the sense of community wasn't there for us because we were so far away. And my kids were still pretty young at that point, and it was just, we were having a really hard time adjusting. So we decided to just do CC at home. So we've been doing that for the last 2.5 years. But like with all military, we are moving soon, and so we will be rejoining a CC community here come in like January or something like that. So I'm excited about that. So cycle 2, this is about the 3rd time that we have gone through cycle 2. And so there have been a few things that I'm like, yes, this is what you most definitely need. And then there's gonna be a few new things that I'm gonna try out this year. And then there's just kind of some fun games and supplements that I have for you guys. So the first thing I wanna do is I want to mention, if you are brand new to CC, this first section is for you. These are the things you absolutely need to get. And now this video, you guys, is gonna be mostly for foundations, as far as like core curriculum that you're gonna need for foundations. For essentials, I haven't quite wrapped my head around it quite yet. There's a few things that I am going to show you that we are using with our essentials kits, but like I said, I haven't been part of a community yet, so I'm not exactly sure what to use, but I will show you the things that I have. And then plus, like the history and the science and all of those supplements, those can be used for your essentials kids too. So the very first thing that I want to start with is your foundations guide. Now this is going to be your bread and butter. I bought this 2018, however long ago that was. What is that, 7 years ago? So I bought this 7 years ago. This is the 5th edition, and this is all that I have really needed, like absolutely needed, because it's got all the memory work in here for all 3 cycles. And you just need to buy one of these for your family. If you have 1 kid or if you have 10 kids, you just need one of these for your family, because all you need in here is the information. This is not consumable. And so I'm going to show you just a sneak peek. I went through and I tagged what cycle 1, cycle 2, cycle 3, and then these are all like the maps and stuff like that that you need for those cycles. So I'm gonna go to cycle 2, and here is like a little infographic. Gives you kind of just a different information, like how many facts you are gonna memorize or your child is gonna memorize, but let's be honest, you're probably going to memorize them too throughout the year. And then here is is the page that you're really gonna need. This will show you, there's 24 weeks, see here, and then this will show you what we are learning in math, Latin, I can't read backwards and upside down, science, English, timeline, history, geography, projects like science projects, and then art projects, which those last 2 columns are done in community, which is good. You don't have to prep for them if you're a part of a community. If you are not part of a community, there is like instruction in here on how to do it, but just join a community. And I'm gonna be honest, like those 2 sections for the last 2.5 years, we have not done. So yeah, but what's good is that they cycle through. So all the art projects and all of the science projects are pretty much going to be the same when you go through cycle 1 again, which sometimes is like, well, why am I gonna do that project again? But guys, it's 3 years later. Your child's brain has expanded. Their knowledge has grown. They're gonna get so much more from that crayfish observation thing. We don't dissect a crayfish, but we like, I don't know, observe it or kind of look at it and stuff. It's a little bit gross, but they get so much more from that, seeing it again, than they did 3 years ago. And then if you get a chance to do it again in another 3 years, then they will glean even more information from that. And that's part of why I like CC, is because they have those cycles. And so, you know, you get something and then you're not expected to remember it, 5-10 years down the road. You will get it again and your knowledge of it will just grow and grow and grow. So for instance, this year in history, we are doing medieval history, and then we are also doing like the world wars. Yes, so we'll go through kind of the Industrial Revolution. We go kind of in the world history, so like history of Russia, absolute monarchs, World War I, II. There's a few weeks in World War II, United Nations, Korean War, Vietnam War, Cold War, the fall of communism, the Gulf War, and end of apartheid. So we go through medieval history, like the first chunk of the year. And then the next chunk of the year is kind of a broad world history, which is really good because then in cycle 3, we focus very much on US history. So this is where we're gonna get like world history. In science, we're gonna be learning land biomes, food chain, cycles in nature. We're also going to be learning about space, so that's really cool. Then we go into like energy, physics. So it's pretty much physics, like Newton's first, second, third law of motion, first, second, third law of thermodynamics, electricity. So we've got, that's kind of what we're going to be doing. And again, this is just, these are memory work sentences. Like if your child is 4, they will just learn the songs and the memory work, and that's it. But when they get to be 7, they can learn a little bit more, and then when they turn 10, they can learn a little bit more. You know what I mean? So it's good. Sometimes you're like, why am I teaching my kid thermodynamics when they're like 5 years old? And the thing is, you're not teaching them thermodynamics. You're introducing vocabulary words into their vocabulary, into their database. You're just introducing the word. And the idea is that you're creating a peg in their memory. So when they learn, Newton's first law of motion, right now it's just a fun song that they're learning and they're singing. And they learn words that they don't completely understand yet. But then later on, you can go to a little bit more of the physics of it and the science behind it. And the good thing is that throughout those years, when they learn something about Newton's third law of motion or first law of motion, like Like they learn, oh, it's Isaac Newton. Oh, okay. And I have that peg to hang that information on. Does that make sense? So that information can build and build and build instead of introducing Isaac Newton, you know, in middle school or in high school, and they have no background for who Isaac Newton even was, you know? So that's what I really love. So we're doing that. Let's see, in geography, we're doing continents and oceans. We are doing the European continent, which there is a lot in that European continent, let me tell you. So the Caribbean, the Baltic, oh, Europe, that's still Europe. The Levant, Southeast Asia, so we're going into Asia, we're going into Central America. And then in English, we learn 8 parts of speech, pronouns, pronoun order. Again, these are all just memory sentences every week. Let's see, adverbs, verbs, nouns, 5 noun cases, stuff like that. Math is the same every year. So math, you're learning to skip count. So you go from 1 and you skip count all the way through the 15s. You don't do that all in 1 week. It builds on itself. But it's really cool because, guys, I can sing those songs in my sleep now because we do it every single year. So, and then we learn the squares, the cubes, teaspoons and tablespoons conversions, liquid equivalents, linear equivalents, metric measurements, and then geometry, where it's the area of a rectangle, square, triangle, circle, circumference, and then like the different laws in math. So associative law, commutative law, distributive law, and identity law. So we do those every year, and we have little songs for them. And I can now see that my kids are going into, you know, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th grade. I can now see them using those laws, and they're like, oh, that's the commutative law. Oh, it's because order doesn't matter. That's right. And so it's really cool being able to see that play into practice. Or the identity law that we just did not too long ago, where, you know, a plus 0 equals a times 0 equals 0, you know, and they can see that now because they know a number plus 0 equals that number, and then they know a number times 0 equals 0. So it's really cool. It's really neat to kind of see the little light bulbs kind of go off, you know, so that's really neat. So anyway, so those are kind of the areas that we are going to cover, and I'm going to show you just like this first week. So this first week in this guidebook, it'll tell you the new grammar or the new information for like math. Here's, again, I can't really, English. Here is history, geography is in, no, timeline's in the middle. Geography, fine arts, you know, it'll tell you everything that you need to know, and then it also even has some space down here for some notes. The idea is that you take this to your community day, and then you're able to kind of help your kids and then write down notes if you need notes. I personally, guys, I took it like maybe the first year because I was told to. And I'm very much a rule follower, and so I took it, but I didn't really need it because the tutor had all of the information. And so honestly, I don't think you need to actually take this. It's good to have so you know what the information is. And if you look in here, I was a tutor for cycle 1, and you can see all of my little notes as far as like what songs we sang, what hand motions we did, and all of those little notes. And you can do that so that way when you go through that cycle again, you have all of that information, and you don't have to go through and try to figure out what song you sang 3 years ago, because you won't remember. You won't. Just trust me. You won't remember. So you absolutely need the foundations guide. The other item that you absolutely need is going to be a tin whistle. Now, I haven't even taken this one out of the package. I bought it directly from CC. You can get these on Amazon. They're the same price, guys. You do have to pay for shipping with CC, but if you're ordering stuff already, just throw it in there. I think it's like 11 bucks. And I'm pretty sure it's the same price on Amazon. If you do decide to get it on Amazon, because they only sell this one, and it says Classical Conversations on there, like they only sell this color. So if you want another color, like a pink one or a purple one or something like that, which we have gotten in the past, just make sure that it's in the key of D. That's what you're absolutely going to need. So you're gonna need this. You're not gonna need it until about week 13, but I would say just go ahead and buy it now, guys. Just get it and then store it away until you need it, because week 13 is right after Christmas. It's that very first week after Christmas. And I can guarantee you, right around Christmas time is not when you want to be trying to figure out how to get a tin whistle, okay? Just store it, that way you have it, and it's all ready to go for you when, you know, the new semester comes in the spring. So the tin whistle, when you get it, it just comes with this. So it's just the whistle by itself, which is totally fine. But I have a friend that was in my very first CC community that makes these cute tin whistle cases. It's got like a pipe in here. So you can get them without a pipe too. But it's got like a little PVC pipe in here. So your tin whistle can sit in here, and then you can stick it in your backpack, you know, your dirty backpack, or just carry it around because it has a strap. Yeah. Just carry around your tin whistle, or your child carries around their tin whistle, because they're gonna need to take it to community. If it just sat at the house, it'd be a different story, but they're taking it to community. And so it's just open, you know, and then you put your mouth on it. So I bought these, gosh, 7 years ago, I wanna say. I got this cute little princess or ballerina one. I got this one for, I think it was my middle child, and then I got this kind of American one for my boy. And so I am gonna need to get some more for my other children, because now I have 5 in essentials, or not in essentials, in CC. Yes, for you too. So I'm gonna have to get some other ones, but I'm gonna leave her Etsy shop down below. They start at $16, but guys, like I said, I've had these, they look brand new. I've had these for 7 years, and we've used them every year since I got them. And so, well, besides the 2 years that I was not in a CC community. So I guess for 5 years. We used them for 5 years. They've been stored away, and I'm excited to use them again. So I'm gonna leave her Etsy down in the description below so you can go and check it out. She's got so many different patterns to work with. She can now even personalize it, so you can put your child's name on it. They've got like sports stuff, princess unicorn stuff. She's got Minecraft. She's got Star Wars, and just different characters, like a whole bunch, because she's been doing this for a long time. So she's accumulated a lot of different patterns. And so guys, go check it out. It is so worth it. It is so worth it to have one of these, because it will last you. It is so well made. I sew, well, I used to, and these are really well made. So go check out her Etsy shop and let her know that I sent you. I don't think you get a discount, sorry. But just say hi from me. The next thing that you are going to need, now this one is, I think the company says that they highly recommend this one. Like it's one of that next level. Like if you're gonna buy anything else, you're gonna need to get these. These are the timeline cards. Now I just happen to have the medieval world ones right here, but there I have, I think 2 or 3 of these folders or these binders of timeline cards. And so what they are is, we learn the timeline from creation all the way up into present day, and it's one song, and it's a 13-minute song. You don't memorize it all in one shot. You memorize it throughout the entire year. And I can tell you, it's so fun to just go to community and these kids just know this song because we sing it every year. This is another thing that's like math, where we do it every single year. So how I have it organized in here is that each week we'll have, this is 1 week's worth. So this is one sheet protector, 1 week's worth of timeline cards, and each week has 7 cards. And so like this one's Byzantine Emperor Justinian, Benedict and monasticism, and it just keeps going and going and going. And now what's great about these timeline cards is it has all of the information, not all the information that you need obviously, but it's got kind of a snapshot of the information in the back. And you can do a bunch of different activities with these timeline cards. We hang up our timeline cards for that week in our schoolroom somewhere, you know, and it's been different throughout the years. And what we do also is we actually read one of these at dinner time. So when my husband is there, we read one. You can do this at lunchtime. You can do it during your morning basket. Sometimes we'll read one, sometimes we'll read two, just depending. And we've been doing that for a couple of years now, and it's been really neat. And it brings up so many different discussions that we wouldn't otherwise have. You know, like Byzantine Emperor Justinian, like who is that? You know, who is that? I mean, I know who it is, maybe. I could maybe give you a little bit of a snapshot of who he is, but like you wouldn't ever hear that name if you didn't have this type of stuff, you know? And then, so the way I organize it is each of these is 1 week's worth. I take it out, I hang them up. And then when that week's done, I put it back into its little pocket here, and then I hang up the next week's. And so it's really cool. I will leave these linked down at the bottom. This one's kind of a pricier one that I got recently because I just really love the color, and I invested in these binders. But the timeline cards just come with the cards. It doesn't come with anything else, okay? But these binders I will link down below, and I will link these sheet protectors down below also. I think when I first did this kind of organization, I got them at Walmart, and they were like super cheap. So like the binders, because they're not the full 8.5 by 11 binders. They're the other size. I don't know what the size is, guys. A5 maybe? I don't know. I don't know what the size of that binder is. So you need the timeline cards, you need your foundation guides, and you need your tin whistle. So if that is absolutely all that you can afford to get, that's it. You know, when I first started, that's what we got. We got that because somebody had told me this is all you're gonna need. And I would recommend you guys to grab what you need and then wait, like join a community and go to community for a few weeks and see what else you might need. You know, see what other people are using, see how it works and how you're gonna implement it in your home. It'll take you a little bit to figure that out. It took us probably about a year to figure out how we were going to do that. And then it changed, you know, throughout as my kids got older. So just that's what I would recommend. Grab the items that you absolutely need, and then just wait and see what community is like and talk to the other mamas, see what they're using and all of that. Okay, so that's what I would recommend. But of course, I am who I am. And I'm going to show you a whole mess of other stuff. Okay, but if you don't want to see any of it, turn off the video, guys. Turn it off. I'm telling you. Turn it off. Have more self-discipline than I do. Okay, these next two items that I'm going to show you are things that I would put on my highly recommend list. Like that's what the company recommends or requires. These are my highly, absolutely the next thing that you should be buying is this. And that is the Old World Echoes. Now every cycle has one of these. This is put out by Classical Conversations Press or Copper Lodge Library, I don't know, but it is Classical Conversations. And these books have been just amazing because they gather all of the different stories and folklore and poetry and just different things from that time period that you were studying that year, and they put it all into one book. Not only do they do that, but they organize it by weeks. So if you see here is week 1, week 2, week 3. So like week 1, you're gonna read Magic Apples. It's Norse mythology. I remember that one. Oh, I remember my kids loving that one. And then your poem is for Saturday, and I can look and see. The next week 2 is the Dwarf's Gifts. That's mythology, Norse mythology again. And then your poem is the Nightingale and the Glowworm. And then let me see, I'm gonna fast forward because usually it's 3 different things. So like week 18, oh, I'm not gonna read that because I don't know how to pronounce that. Week 17 is the Sunshine Stories, Hans Christian Andersen story. And then also The Emperor's New Clothes, another Andersen story, and then a poem, The Duel. So it's just, oh my gosh, guys. If this was the only read aloud I had, I would take it. Like if I was stranded on a desert island, this is gonna be weird. If I was stranded on a desert island and I could only take 2 books, I would take the Bible, obviously. And then one of these. Because it's so good. And they're told in a way that the kids will understand. I read these like years ago when my kids were little, and they got it, they understood it, and now they're understanding it even more. So for instance, here is the first one. This is the Magic Apples. So this must be a long one. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's probably why they only gave us one. It's about 7 pages or so. See, it's about that long, which doesn't seem very long at all. But there's that. And then they have, it's usually a picture and then their poem over here. In cycle 1, it was all mostly Aesop's fables, and it was so good. Like, guys, these are so good. They're so good. And I've had this one, I think Old World Echoes was the first one that came out 6 years ago or something like that. And I grabbed it and I loved it. And then for cycle 3, they have New World Echoes. For cycle 1, they have Ancient World Echoes, which we just finished. And we do this during our morning time, and it is just so good, guys. If you have no other books to read, grab that. It's just really, really, really good. Okay, the next thing that is in my highly, 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 highly recommend is there is a section in your foundations guide for Bible memory work. Now, we don't do Bible memory work like in community. I don't know why. That's a good question to ask somebody at some point. But we don't do it in the community. It is optional, but I have started doing the Bible memory work, and it is so good. It's in chronological order of the Bible. So like cycle 1 goes from Genesis to the Judges. In cycle 2, we'll go through from the Judges to Jesus. So the Judges and the rest of that Old Testament. And then in cycle 3, we talk about the Gospels and Jesus in the New Testament and all of that. Somebody told me about Driven by Grace. And she actually has a YouTube channel here. And so I'll link her channel down below, and I'll also link her website down below where you can get this. But this is Foundations of the Bible, and it's specifically to go through the classical conversations memory work, and it's volume 2, and this is so amazing, guys. We just did volume 1. We kind of did volume 2 a long time ago, but I didn't really understand it, and I didn't buy the physical book, and so I hadn't printed everything out. You know how that goes sometimes. But once I started buying the physical book, oh my gosh, it changed the way we do this. So it's got a book list for each week. So just kind of a neat picture book list. I get these sometimes I don't. Then it's got Superbook episode guide. So it's really neat. It's got Superbook episode guide, and then it has all of your memory sentences right here. If you want to like make a copy for your child or anything like that, you can do that. And then here's week 1, and it does have a lesson plan in here. We don't follow the lesson plan because we just do it. I do Bible for 7 to 15 minutes in our symposium time, depending on how much time we have. But I do it for about anywhere from 7 to 15 minutes. And that seems to be able to get through a whole week's worth of reading and stuff like that. So this is what we're gonna go through. This is our memory work. So the first memory work is what are the names of the 8 significant judges of Israel, and it gives you the first 4. The next week you'll learn the next 4. It gives you Bible reading. So sometimes we will go through, and that's the first thing we do is open our Bible and read through some of these passages so we get the context of it all. It has additional learning down here where it's got different videos. We have done these before, and then here it's where the books come in case you want to do that. Again, that's optional. Sometimes we do it. Most of the time we do it. Sometimes we don't. But what I really do is I read. So again, during symposium, I will set a timer and then I will just start reading. And there is an activity book. You can get this activity book also. You get one per child, and it's just games and coloring sheets and just different things like that. If you have younger kids, maybe this will work. You can also get the digital version of it if you want to do that. And then you can just print out the pages that you want. I did that for a while. But then after a while, they didn't want to color anymore. Sometimes, you know, kids get coloring fatigue. So they didn't want to color anymore, so I told them just do whatever you want. Like we would pull out our read aloud stuff, or if they wanted to, not paint, but if they wanted to get the special markers, or my boy was doing flip books for a while, and so if he wanted to get out his flip book contraption, then he could do that. You know, just something that's going to be quiet where they can listen. And then we go through and we read, guys. So we talk about Othniel, we talk about Ehud, I think it's Ehud. I talk about Deborah. So I just read. I just go through and I read these for however long it takes. And then she's got some more information and more pictures over here. Guys, she breaks it down so well. And it is just so good. I cannot tell you how many times we're sitting there reading and I just have to stop and I'm just like, oh my goodness, this is so good. Just ask my kids. I say that all the time because the richness and just the connecting it to Jesus, and oh, it's just so good. And so even if you have little kids, like this is good just for you to sit down and go through and read, and maybe use this as a Bible study for yourself. It's so good. So Lindsay, good job. These are all done so well. And at the end of each lesson week, we have a review questions. I will usually like reward them with like Skittles or Cheerios or something, and I'll throw them at them. So then they're all like, I know the answer. And then it has application questions for further discussion, and then it's got prayer prompts down here. And that is basically how each week is organized. You have 24 weeks in this whole thing. Oh, guys, this is worth it. This is worth it. Another thing that is worth it is getting these lesson tabs. She also sells these, and they're stickers, and you put them into the book yourself. That was a game changer for us this year, because you can also just use like a sticky note or something to keep your place, but it looks so pretty on the side. I can't wait to put these tabs in. She also sells these Bible stickers, and I did get these for my kids because I print out sheets for them to go in their binders that have all of the information for the week, all of our memory work for the week, and so they can pull these off and stick them on there. This past year I did write out our memory work for them, and they just wrote them somewhere on that sheet. So you can do that too. I don't know which one's better. I like the idea of them writing it down, but this is also faster and more fun. So I don't know. So those are the two things that Dina of Pursuing Peace, highly recommend. If you can't get anything else as far as additional supplements go, get those things because they are so, so good. Another thing that you can get if you are part of a community, you can go on to CC Connected, and on there is an e-zine called the Sandbox. The Sandbox is real good, you guys. It has worksheets for all of the memory work. It has maps for the geography. It has coloring sheets and activities for the Old World Echoes books. But my favorite part of it is that it has book lists for each week. And so you can go to your local library and try to get as many of those books as you possibly can, or you can buy the books if you can do that. And those are such rich books. Sometimes they're picture books, sometimes they're chapter books, and they are such good books that go along with our history for the week, our science for the week, our math, sometimes English, for the week. And it also has on there where it ties into Story of the World, and I'll show you this in just a little bit. But the Sandbox Ezine, it's a digital e-zine, thus the E, you know? But you just print it out and just use what you need. There's so much good information. They have articles in there. I love Sandbox. I think it's really cool. I think it's a great resource, and we used it all the time when we were part of a community, and so I am kind of looking forward to diving into that Sandbox again. If nothing else, just go through, print out one, and just flip through it and just check it out, because it's a really, really good resource. Another good resource that I want to talk about is the CC podcast. You can get this wherever you listen to your podcasts, and it's just really cool. Every week they'll have an episode and they talk about just the philosophy behind CC. They talk about practical stuff like how to do CC at home during the week. They talk about community days. They talk about just a whole mess of stuff. And it's really cool just to learn the heart behind CC and why they do what they do, but then also how to implement it at home. So I will link the podcast down below also, so you can go check it out. But let's do this Story of the World. Now, Story of the World is not classical conversations, but this ties along very well because it is a classical history curriculum. Now, this is just one part of the curriculum. This book here, it's a read aloud, and you just go through, and has different chapters, and you just read it like it is just a read aloud. But there is a whole curriculum out there in the Story of the World space that I have never used, but I hear it's really good. So check it out. I know some CC families use the whole curriculum. For us, all we use is this, and this is actually the first time I actually have this book in hand, because what we actually use are the CDs. Now you could tell I've had this for a while, because look, it's all torn up. But I take these and we have them in the car, and we just listen to them in the car. And we put in the first CD and we listen. When it's done, we put in the next one and we listen. And it's so cool because it's the book, but in CD form, in audio form. And it's so easy, right? Instead of me, you know, like kind of tuning out while I'm driving, or the kids watching TV while they're driving, we pop in the CD and it's just like, oh, it's cool. And we learn. And sometimes we tune out or whatever, but it's a good thing to have, and it's quiet in the car. So I got the book this year because sometimes in the CDs he'll reference like, oh, and this is what an anchor looks like, or whatever. I don't know. That's just the first thing that came to mind. This is what this symbol looks like. And I'm like, oh, we don't have the book to see what that symbol looks like. But then in here, it'll have the pictures. See, and sometimes it does. Sometimes it has maps and stuff like that. So I got the book because I'm like, okay, I want to be able to kind of reference it too. And then we'll probably just have the book in the car, and if he says something like that, I'll hand the book over to my kids in the back and they can look for it. But yeah, so that's the part of Story of the World that we use. Okay, another thing for history that we are going to use, and I'm looking forward to using it this year, is this medieval history from Beautiful Feet Books. And I did kind of a flip through, this is very Charlotte Mason, and it comes with, or it can come with, a whole book pack with literature. Let me see if it's got, I have them all over here. I just didn't want to go through all of them again, but here we go. We've got all of these books, we've got maps, we've got a timeline, just a whole bunch of stuff that comes in this curriculum. Oh, some more books. And then within the story, or within the lessons, it gives you rabbit trails where you can look through other books and stuff. And so this is for 5th through 8th grade, and I'm going to have a 5th grader and a 6th grader, and plus my 4th grader can kind of kind of come along with us with this one. So this is for older kids. We're going to use this. I'm going to link a video down below where I unboxed this and I showed you all of the books, and I kind of read through this a little bit to show you what's inside a little bit more. You know, the Beautiful Feet books, if you've ever done one of their curriculum, they've got recipes. It is Christian based, and it's just so beautiful. Like, look, it's just so beautiful. I love it. I love it. So anyway, this one is recommended by CC, so I just got it because I'm like, I love Beautiful Feet books. So so I am going to use this. If you don't have kids that are that old, we also have The Good and the Beautiful History Year 1. Now this doesn't go in chronological order. The way that I would use this as part of CC is just pull out the items that would work for you in this cycle. Like for instance, oh, it does have a section in here that is ancient, but then it also has a section in here that's medieval and the Renaissance. So see here, it starts there, and so it goes through there. It also has a little bit later on some sections in, it's got Queen Victoria and the British Empire, the Victorian era, Crimean War, history of flight. So it does have little like aspects of it that you can use. So I do go through this a little bit more in another one of my unboxing when I did unbox it. But this one is recommended for grades 3 through 6. And here is the Student Explorer for 3 through 6. So it's kind of neat. It's got different activities and different things that plug into the lessons within the course book. And then also, if you've got younger kids, there's this History Year 1, which has more of the coloring and the mazes and just activities and the cut and paste and all of that. So it's also, you can also get that for however many kids you have that are that age. It also comes with a timeline book. So you can go through, I believe this like comes up. One of them like folds out, I don't remember. But the idea is you have one timeline book per kid, and then you place these stickers within the timeline. So that's kind of fun. I like stickers, you know? And then it has this big book of stories, which is really cool, which I actually might dive into a little bit more. I don't know. I might. We'll see what happens. And then it's got this big book of maps and images. And these are like cardstock pages. So yeah. So that, I have that history. We are probably more so going to be using this history for the year, and then with some splashes of this other history too, just kind of depending. I don't know. I'm not sure which one I'm going to completely use. What always happens, guys, and I don't know why I do this, what always happens is probably sometime around Christmas time, I end up just reading books with them. That just happens because I just get tired, you know? So we're gonna try it. We're gonna go strong, but we'll see. Check out my mid-year review. see where I'm at then. Okay, another thing that I want to tell you about CC Bookstore is they have all of these Trivium table card things. They have a bunch of them. But these are the ones that we use. So we use the math one, and it's got this board, this 100 chart here, and it's got a bunch of different like math equation things. It does have a multiplication chart all the way to 225, which is like 15 times 15, which you don't see a lot. And so that's really good. But what we really use these for, and you'll be able to tell because of all of the marks, is we use it for this number knockout board here. And so you don't need it. You could print out, like if you Google number knockout board, like they probably have one that you can print out. But I did want to get this one. So we use this number knockout. And we'll play number knockout maybe like 2 or 3 times a week. And they do that in Community Day for the essentials classes. They'll have like math games, and one of those games is number knockout. So That's why I wanted to get that. The next one, oh wait, this one is not, oh, I said 3, but it's actually the same one. The same one, but the next one I got this year, and this is the first time I get this one, but it's their geography one. And I don't know, what I normally do is, because all of our maps are in your foundations guide, so what I normally do is I'll just print a copy of it and then stick it in a sheet protector, and we use that. I might do that. I've thought about getting the big mats, because they have like place mats also, but the reason I don't like those is because they're so big, and this can fit in their binders. It's an 8.5 by 11, so I don't know. And they can pull it out, and then it's a bigger map than what I can print out for them, and so like this is gonna be our geography. And so each one of these dots and all of these different countries, we're gonna go through and mark it. So I don't know, I'm gonna try this and see if this works. Sometimes it doesn't all, because I have 5 kids, so having this like opened up at the tables sometimes doesn't work. So I'm gonna try this, and because they mess up, they don't mess it up, it's just because they use it so much. They're sheet protectors, it's a thing, you know, so we'll see how well these keep up. I've never really liked these before because it was so much going on, but like having this is okay, but like having this, like it was a lot going on as far as words go. And Europe is so tiny. So anyway, so I got that for a Trivium table. I feel like I got another one. I think it was the chart A. I got the chart A for essentials too, but that's going into the other section. Okay, the next stuff that I'm going to show you is for science. So the first thing are these science cards. I have a hair tie here. These are classical conversation cards. They look just like the timeline cards, but they're science cards. And so they go through each week. So like this is week 1. You can't see that because of my camera. But like this is week 1, and then in the back, it'll give you the memory work up top. And then just like the timeline cards, it gives you some information. So what I've been doing is once a week during symposium, at some point once a week, I will bring out one of these cards and just read it, and we can talk about it. So it's easy. If you have little tiny kids, I wouldn't say that you need these right now, but as my kids got older, I noticed that it was kind of beneficial for them to be able to see that. And sometimes the pictures that they have is really good, because we don't have pictures other than that in our science, and so sometimes that's really good to have. Another thing that I'm excited about, because I've been doing a part of this curriculum, but another section of it, with our 2 little ones over the summer, and I've been loving it. And so this one is Sparks and Stars from the Good and the Beautiful. Now this one is specifically for pre-K to 2nd grade. And so I've been doing this with my little ones. Not this one again, we've been doing the Bones and Stones one, but I've been doing this with my little ones for a couple of weeks in the summertime, and we've loved it. We've learned so much, and it's just so good. And it also comes with this big book of stories, which is really good. And this is how they learn, you guys. They learn through stories. This is how all of us learns, honestly. And it's just so good, you guys. I just love this one. I need to fit this in somehow, and seeing the richness of it throughout the summer, I'm like, oh my gosh, I need to fit this in. Honestly, all of my kids can do this, but it is definitely tailored toward those early elementary years. Even if your child is in like 3rd grade, that's fine, but it's definitely tailored toward them. I do have a 5th and 6th grader that they kind of enjoy all of that stuff still, and so I don't know. I might do that for all of us. I'm not sure. Or I could just do the memory work and read books and do what I've been doing for all of my life. So I don't know. So we'll see. I'll let you know how that all works out. But that's what we're going to be doing for science, apart from like our memory work and we're just reading books, good science-y books. Okay, another thing that we have been doing over the summer that I have been loving is music appreciation. Now this is fairly new from Beautiful Feet Books. Guys, I have been loving this. And again, I have another like video where I really kind of show you the insides of this. I think I do. Now I don't remember. I do. I read through that first lesson or something like that. We are on lesson 4 and we're going into medieval history, and my kids took a vacation to San Antonio. So I stopped it for the summer, but we were like loving it. It was just so good. And I love that it uses, it gives you a list for your Spotify, a playlist that you can listen to. It gives you videos that you can watch. It uses like real world stuff. And I love that. I love that. So we are going to be using this. It comes with this and then this big book of composers. And what I love about this is that there are QR codes like everywhere in this curriculum. And for playlists, for resource packets, for just everything. Everything that you need. It's so rich. It's so rich. And we're only going to do maybe like 1 lesson a week. I think that's what it recommends actually. And then just listening to the music throughout the week when we're just like doing our handwriting or something, you know, like just listening to the music of that specific composer. So in CC, we are going to be learning about different composers this year. Actually, let me see. We're going to be learning about Beethoven, Brahms, Dvorak, and then the orchestra and classical and romantic period of music. So, so that's kind of what we're learning about this year.
How do you spell the?
T-H-E. So I will kind of pull those composers out. Maybe I'll just go through it, and then when we get to them, we get to them. Because there's goodness in that too, where it's just like, oh, when we get to it, we get to it, and we learn about different things along the way. So we'll see. But I love it. I love it so much. And then because I just need to have all of the new things, I also got the music appreciation from the Good, the Beautiful. Oh my gosh. And this one is really good too. Now this one is made very differently. This one is kind of made for your child to go through on their own. So I'm like, I don't want my kid to go through it on their own. I want them to go through it with me. But it's got really good videos on here. What I do like from this one is it's got hymn studies. And I think it's only got maybe 3 or 4 hymn studies throughout the whole thing. So it's got hymn studies. So it'd be interesting to just kind of do that a little bit. We do like to sing hymns throughout our morning time. That's one of the things that we do on a daily basis. I will take one hymn and we'll sing it for 2 weeks, so that way we really get to know it and talk about it and just see the richness in hymns. I just love hymns. They're just so good, guys. So I got this, and then I started looking through it and I'm like, I don't know if we're gonna use that this year, but again, the hymns, I really do like that. So I guess my plan right now is to do the Beautiful Feet Books music appreciation, and then maybe wait until we're done with that one to do this one. I think we'll see, because it does look really good. But it's just too much. It's just too much to do both. You know? Another thing that we're gonna do as far as electives go is art appreciation. These things we don't do. We don't normally do like art appreciation or music appreciation, but they just came out with these and I'm like, just give them to me. So art appreciation from Beautiful Feet Books. And so let me show you. In cycle 2, we're going to be learning about artists. We're going to be learning about Rembrandt, Gainsborough, Degas, Monet, and Morris, and Van Gogh. So we're going to be learning about those guys. So in here, it kind of goes through like prehistoric and ancient art, medieval and early Renaissance art, Renaissance, post-Renaissance, and Enlightenment, the emergence of the modern era and the modern era. And so like the other one, I think we might just be going through it. Like, it's just so pretty. This is what gets me. It's just so beautiful. Is that Giotto? Oh, it is. It's Giotto. Oh, nice. Oh, look at me knowing my art. Giotto is one of the ones that we study for CC in Cycle 1. I'm so proud of myself. Redeeming my education. That's what I'm doing. Oh, church window cookies. Church window cookies. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. That's so cool, like stained glass. This is what I really liked about this one, is that it came with these cards. Here, let me show you. It came with these cards. Now there's a whole mess of these cards, guys. Just a bunch of artwork cards for you to, like, I like the idea of having them hung up somewhere, a card hung up somewhere. So it comes with these cards, and then it also comes with the big book of artists, and we've been loving our big book of composers so much, and it's the same author for both of these. Oh my gosh, was that Bob Ross? Was that Bob Ross? Oh, and it's got oh, I love this guy. Oh gosh, what is his name and why am I not? Norman Rockwell. Oh my gosh. So in CC, when we were part of a community last time, they asked me to do like the art section of it. And so I did, I think it was Cycle 3. And so I was Norman Rockwell, Andrew Wyeth, Grandma Moses, and just Georgie O'Keeffe. I can't remember. But what I did was I dressed up like the artists. Oh my gosh, and this is gonna be so embarrassing, you guys, but I'm gonna put a picture up here of when I dressed up like Norman Rockwell. And I was like, man, I look like the ugliest Norman Rockwell. Oh my goodness, but I had so much fun. It was so much fun, not only like dressing up like these people, but just learning about them, you know. And some of them, you know, didn't completely agree with their lifestyle. But Norman Rockwell was one of those. Norman Rockwell and Grandma Moses, there were those people where it's just like, oh my gosh, I wish that I was like your friend. Like, oh my goodness, like they were just so wholesome and Americana, you know, like just beautiful people. I fell in love. I already loved Norman Rockwell paintings, and I just fell in love with them even more. Just the history of who he was and what he wanted his paintings to be. I'm trying to find if that was Bob Ross in here. Did you see it? I'm gonna have to go through and look. Which I wouldn't be surprised if Bob Ross was in here. Lin-Manuel Miranda is in the other books of the composer books, which makes sense. I mean, he's kind of a big deal right now, and he's making a lot of good music. Music that is not changing history, but is making an impact on the world, right? Like Moana. So yes, I can't tell you how many times I have Moana songs in my head. Anyway, oh my goodness, this is such a talky, chatty video. So anyway, so it's the first time I was looking through that book, so I was kind of browsing. All right, so yes, I'm going to be using this, and again, I don't know if I'm going to just pull out the ones that we are studying for the year, or if I'm going to go through them just in chronological order or whatever. Another thing that you can get is this art notebook. And this one is a little bit different than the other notebooks that they have. Like, so they have sections in here. The Renaissance, you would get one of these per child. And then it's got these different words, and I'm guessing you write like the definition of those things. And then it's got, I don't know if you're like writing something about the painting or exactly what it is, because I haven't looked at a lesson very closely yet. But this one is a family study, so this would be able, you'd be able to do this with all of your children, no matter what age, I believe. When my kids were all young, I always had to tailor, no matter what curriculum it was, I always had to tailor it towards, younger kids, which is fine. And then now that my kids are getting a little bit older, sometimes I have to tailor it towards older kids, and that's just kind of how curriculum goes sometimes, especially when it's family style like this. So I'm looking forward to this one. So this is definitely an extra elective type of curriculum for CC. Another book that I would recommend, and CC does recommend getting this, is Discovering Great Artists. You can get this on Amazon, or I believe you can get this in the CC bookstore also. But these are really cool because, look, they each kind of spread goes through an artist, and this is Henri Rousseau. And it tells you a little bit about him. It's got a picture, and then it's got a little art project over here. And I used that when I did art class for CC, but then also for art class for the co-op that we are part of right now. But a lot of the art projects, not all of them, but a lot of the art projects that come out of the CC curriculum come out of this book. So it does recommend this book to have, and it has more artists in here than it does when you're learning through the cycles. So it's just kind of a fun thing to have if you want to go through that artist, or if you want to go through another artist and do projects. And they're usually very easy to follow, and they even give you like a picture of what it's supposed to look like, so oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I have a really hard time following just instructions, written instructions, you guys. I don't know what it is with me, but I've always had a really hard time. I need a picture or a video to show me what to do. So yeah, so that's art. Okay, the next thing that I want to show you is essentials. We are going to be going through medieval history, and essentials, you use IEW. Essentials is that next step up. It's 4th, 5th, and 6th grade. So they're doing foundations in the morning, and then in the afternoon they have a special essentials program where it focuses a lot on writing, on grammar, and then that's where they play the math games and stuff like that. So what we're going to be using is IEW. Now this is a teacher's guide, but it kind of shows you, like that square right there is kind of a picture of the page. And this is very much the IEW style, where you have a source text and you write a keyword outline, and from that keyword outline you pull different things to create an essay. And it starts off super easy at first, and then it kind of just builds on top of that. And so so we have that. You just need one teacher's manual, and then I don't have the student manual with me for some reason. But then you'll need a student manual for each child, because they are consumable. So we have that. And then, oh, I do have it with me. I do. See, it's yellow. So see in here, it'll have all of the source text. It has vocabulary, words. It has checklists for them. It has grammar practice, like a little bit of grammar practice based on what kind of dress up they're learning that week. Where's the source text? Okay, so like here they have the source text for you, and then this is where you can write out, the child can write out their keyword outline. So it's really cool. I really have been enjoying the IEW kind of structure and style of it all. So I'm looking forward to doing that in a community where everybody's doing that. That's really neat. Another thing that I got is this big old monster. Now this you will need. It's the EEL packet if your child is going through essentials. I don't want to open these up because they're like shrink wrapped, but this is essentials. This is the solution. So this is where it has all of the answers, and you need to get a binder for it. This is essentials curriculum. So this is what your child needs, and they need a binder for it, from my understanding. We also have essentials English language student. This was all in one pack, guys. And then we have, oh, I see. You can kind of see it here. It's like the dividers for your binder, for the child's binder, I believe. I did put one of these together last year and I can't remember exactly how it all works within itself. I don't remember, but I did also get these big old suckers because someone told me to, and now I don't remember who that was. I think it was a video. This is where they would have their like their stuff in this binder with all the dividers, and they take that to community day. So it's a whole thing. So I did get one of these. I only have 2 of them because I wanted to talk to my director first and see exactly what I needed before I get a 3rd one for my other child that's coming up into essentials also. So I don't know. So, okay. So, and I know that was really bad, you guys. Maybe I will do another one once I get my head wrapped around essentials. It might not be until next year, to be honest, because I feel like I need to have that year to understand it and to really know what I'm doing. I mean, it's such a different animal. I heard lots of fun, though. Anyway, so now I'm going to show you some supplements that you can get that are just kind of fun or just really convenient. The first one is this. It's not this, but it's the information inside. It's like a flip chart, and it goes by week. So like this is week 2, week 3, and it has all of your memory work, and it has your geography up here. Now this is not something the child would use necessarily, or I guess they can, but it's something that I use during our morning basket time. So I don't have my book here. This is where I get a lot of information at the beginning of the year, so I know what to buy. But then throughout the year, I have one of these, and I just have it, and it sticks into our little morning basket nice and neat. And I just use this. A lot of you have probably seen me use this kind of flip chart during my morning basket videos or my day in the life videos. I use this, and this is where it's easy. And what I like about this too is you can travel with it. I've traveled with these before, and it fits so nicely just into your purse or bag or whatever, and you can just carry it around if you want to keep up with memory work on the road. So that's pretty cool. So the information on the inside, I don't know if you can get it outside of CC Connected. I've had these for a few years now, so I have one for every cycle. So if you are a part of a community, then you have CC Connected, and you can go on there and just look up Cycle 2 flip chart, and something should pop up. Another thing that I want to share that's just like game related are Mad Libs, guys. Mad Libs. Like, just do it. Just get one. And they have so many different kinds that just pick one that you like. Last year we had a world history Mad Lib one, and that was so good. This year we have a who was Mad Libs, and we just do like one every so often, not even once a week, just kind of whenever. During our morning basket time, sometimes the kids are like, Mad Libs, and I'm like, fine, we have time today, so we'll do it. And so, oh, my girl brought me. This is the one that we did last year, and oh my gosh, we loved it so much. We laughed so much, you guys. And my kids learned what a noun was, adverb, adjective, plural noun, verb, you know, like, and even your little ones can do that, because sometimes it'll say, give me a silly word, or give me a color, give me the name of a person in the room, you know, like, so even little ones can do it with you. So
like me.
Yeah, like her. So yeah, so Mad Libs are so good, and it goes along very well with the English memory work throughout CC. So especially this year, we're gonna do 8 parts of speech. So we're gonna learn like, what is a noun, what is an adverb, what is a pronoun, you know, and so Mad Libs goes so well, especially with this cycle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another thing I want to share with you is, if you saw my huge homeschool haul part 2 video that just came out, these were in there. Now this is from Classical Historian. Now this is medieval memory game, medieval history memory game, and it has just, it's what it is. It's a memory game, but it's got all of these different medieval characters, paintings, locations, icons, you know, it's just got all of that in there. And it's just good. It's good. Like, this is something, again, your big ones can do and your little one can do. It's easy, and it's something your big one, they kind of know what all of these things are at this point.
And that's funny.
Yeah. And then your little ones, they're just seeing them probably for the first time. And then again, there's that pig, you know, and then they can just keep hanging information. So classical historian. Something else that they sell are these Go Fish cards. So this one is medieval history. This one is world history. And they're just so good. You have to collect, like, you have to collect all of this one as a set, all of this one as a set, all of this one as a set. Whoever has the most sets at the end wins. And you can either do it where you're just collecting the color, you know, and you're collecting cards 1, 2, 3, and 4 for your little ones, or for your older ones, they actually have information about all of these different things. And so again, it works well with little kids and it works well with the big kids. So I recommend it for all families. Okay guys, and the last thing that I want to show you, finally the last thing. And again, if you saw my homeschool haul part 1, then you saw these. Oh, it's just so heavy. It's this castle blocks. And these are, I didn't realize how much they were. They're a lot. They're like 80 bucks. So if you don't want to buy them, don't buy them. Just buy normal blocks. But these are pretty cool because you can build like castles, if you see here, and they're really cool. Like, it's just fun. It's just a fun one. Another option is Legos. Legos are probably cheaper actually. Like castle Legos or something like that. Now these blocks are hardwood. I know they look kind of plasticky because they're shiny and stuff, but it is wood. Like, you can probably see it a little bit more on this one. You can see how that's a wooden block. So it's just neat. It's blocks that don't, you know, you normally in the shapes that you wouldn't normally get. And so yeah, so it's just a lot of fun. I got this at Lakeshore Learning, and I'm sure, actually I don't know if I found it on Amazon, like this specific one, but just look up castle blocks on Amazon, and I'll actually link a similar one down below because again, these are super expensive. And I have a scholarship that you know, the Arizona gives me funds, and so I can use that for this type of stuff. Honestly guys, I wouldn't have bought it if I didn't have the funds for it, because 80 bucks for blocks, that's a little bit ridiculous. But I wanted to show you, you can bring in stuff like that where you can play, they can build it. Again, with the Legos, building something with Legos. We were learning about the tabernacle at the end of this last year, and we have a bazillion Legos. So my oldest, my 12-year-old, started building the tabernacle with Legos. Like, stuff like that is them taking their information and putting it into practice. Or like drawing is really good too, like getting the I Can Draw Europe or something like that books. I think over here, or maybe it's not over here anymore, I put it over in our art closet. But there are different ways, like even if you get this map here or your black line map from your foundations guide and get tracing paper and then have them just trace it. It's like super easy to do. And then they can go through and mark, okay, this is Spain and this is England and this is Ireland, and you know, all of the different things. And it's just a fun thing to do. So I wanted to show you, it doesn't have to be a curriculum, it doesn't have to be academic, it can just be a fun thing to do. So that's why I wanted to show you those blocks. And yeah, so I think that's it, guys. So I am surrounded by curriculum, and I have 30 minutes before people come over, so I need to go. So if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and click the little bell icon so you get notified whenever new videos pop up. I am going to start doing my curriculum pick videos for this coming school year, so make sure you hit that bell notification. And let's be friends. Follow me over on Instagram at Dina_pursuing_peace. All right, you guys, well, I hope you are having a blessed day, and I will see you next time with another video. Bye-bye.